Kansas City did what Kansas City does. They know how to win close games. We had a question asked to us about, is this the most complete Kansas City team in the Mahomes era? And my answer was no. I said the names on the roster the numbers don't uh reflect the names on the roster, but the record does. And it's because they're such vets and know how to win games. They don't get all like nothing bothers them. Buffalo started to shake back, and that's why I'm talking about weathering the storm. Buffalo did what the Commanders couldn't do. Kansas City came out, punched them in the face, and they made it look like, oh, this is about to be one of them routes.
Yeah.
And
But then that turnover, though.
Josh Allen shook his head like, all right, we good. And they shook right back. And my problem with Buffalo is they really could have won this game. If you're going to go for it on fourth down over and over, don't run the same play. Be
Yeah.
creative. And you've seen Andy Reid draw it up on that last drive. That dude is a savant, man. And that's what scares me. Okay, the speed of Philly scares me for Kansas City, being able to run the ball and the speed on defense. What scares me for Kansas City facing Philly is the coaching.
2 weeks, bro. Yeah, it's
The
2
coaching.
weeks.
You're giving Andy Reid and Spags 2 weeks to prep for that.
Yeah.
I don't trust Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore over Andy Reid and Spags. I don't care what y'all got over there. Nah, man. But you can't coach speed. And that'll be the thing. You never know how people are until you get in front of them. I remember watching the Patriots. Like, man, how is this the team beating everybody? Like, what?
It is a machine, bro.
He not like that. What? And then you play them and you like, bro, this is a well-oiled machine.
It's a machine.
Boom, boom.
That's
They
where
boom, they on the ball.
Kansas City's
Stretch.
at. Yeah.
Boom, play action. Boom, on the ball again. Stretch. Boom, boom, boom. Third down. Pick this up. Tom, look, he picking you apart. You like, bro. And you realize, like, man, these dudes is really on it. Defensively, whatever y'all did great, we took it away. Beat us with something else.
Yeah.
And all we need to do is keep the game close enough for that guy over there to figure it out. Once he figures it out, y'all are done. And, Kansas City, they are kind of like that. Once Andy figure you out, it's over with, man. And you got the perfect operator. Like, when 15 is operating under what Andy got going, it's nothing you can do, bro.
Yeah.
You at their mercy.
Couple things that jumped out into this game for me was, like, I know everyone's pissed off at the refs. I actually didn't really mind the call because I feel like offenses get everything. So, like, the ball wasn't clearly shown. That's just kind of my 2 cents on that play that everyone's talking about. Like, everyone's like, oh, he crossed the line. It's like, you can't see the ball, but whatever.
My boy said the same thing. He was like, oh, man, they cheated for them. I'm like, bro, you can't see it.
Yeah.
You don't know where the ball's at.
Yeah, you don't. But the other
Don't run
thing,
the same
too,
play.
is like, yeah, I agree with that. One thing that I wish we saw more in this game was Cook. I felt like Cook kept coming out of the game for Buffalo. I felt like they were running the ball. They were gaining traction, getting him the ball. I wish he got the ball more. Every time it seemed like he had the ball in his hands, he was making play. That late touchdown he had, the option, felt like that was a great call. It should have been stuffed, but Cook made an elite play. Like, that was an elite play. But I just wish he was used more in this game.
Man, I don't get it. There's a difference in a running back and a weapon. He's a weapon.
He is a weapon for sure. And, the other thing too is, besides Mac Hollins, where was everyone else at? Dawson Knox, Kincaid, Coleman, Cooper a couple times. Like, I didn't feel him in this game like previous. You had Shakur a little bit as well.
But when you're done.
For me, it was like it just felt like they were out of rhythm from the beginning of the game.
Mhm.
Um, that to me was the biggest difference
Josh
because
Allen
like
almost threw 2 picks in the first drive.
yes, he probably should have had like 5 turnover
Yeah,
worthy
yeah.
plays, and the
Jeez.
Chiefs didn't jump on those quick, and
Pat got
that's
lucky on one though too. That
correct.
Xavier
I
Worthy
feel
pick.
I
Yeah,
feel like those 2 because of how they
yeah.
play quarterback, you're bound to get 1 or 2 a game. You just
Mhm.
have to make them, and
Yeah,
neither team didn't make them all that great. You had the fumble, um,
right.
that they took advantage of, which to me got them into the game. It got them rhythm
Mhm.
into the game. And then, defensively, Buffalo, I felt like when 47, I don't want to butcher his name, Bernard,
Mhm.
uh, how he passed the concussion protocol. I mean, who knows? Don't know, can't judge, but that was crazy to then
Yeah,
get hit in the head again. I felt really bad. I don't wish that on anyone. And then to get
yeah,
seat belted in a cart like that was tough to watch,
yeah. It
honestly.
was.
I felt really bad, but you just saw the difference between the drop off between their starters at Buffalo at corner to then
And Elam was getting picked on, man.
yeah, he was. I don't think he probably was not thinking on like I'm not getting
Right.
in this game, right?
Yeah,
And then
true.
got in the game and it was oof.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a
they
target.
went right at him. Like Andy Reid is just like what we were saying, like they're gonna attack you until you fix it, until you
Yeah.
stop it. And they do a really good job of attacking your weaknesses. Um, but to me, it was like Buffalo never got in a true like momentum in the game. And everybody's going to be like, well, what are you talking about? They scored that many points, but it was all like, it wasn't methodical like the Chiefs were, right? The Chiefs were like bam, 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 and then
Right.
touchdown. Bam, 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 and touchdown. The Buffalo just seemed like they were working so much harder than
Yeah.
Kansas City was. And as a player, I feel like you may understand that a little bit, G, of what I'm trying to articulate. But another thing I saw was in the red area, the Kansas City Chiefs ran the same offense as we did in our first game against uh, Buffalo.
Mhm.
Um, the ones that Mahomes was scoring on and Hunt
Copycat
had a
league.
touchdown on that
Yep.
wishbone formation. You had the double pullers and then 2 guys going the other
Yep.
way. It was the same exact things we ran. I noticed that, which was um, pretty interesting because I was like, Mahomes hadn't really kept the ball like that, and he always does in the playoffs. And
Mhm.
they chase the dive, and Mahomes pulls it, has
I
2
don't know
lead
why people
blockers.
forget that dude can run a little bit, man.
Yep, touchdown. And I felt like that was another key too in the beginning of this game. All his rushes when he broke the pocket went for first downs. That was
Mhm.
huge in the first half. It
Yeah.
kept
Yeah, it
drives
was.
alive. It kept, you know, things going. And it just felt like Kansas City had it easier when they were on offense than Buffalo
Well, I
did.
wanna point something out to that point. It's the things we see that your average fan doesn't see, but takes a toll on a group.
Yes.
You guys don't understand. I was watching this and I text my boys. I said, "That O-line is fighting for their life dealing with Chris Jones."
Mm-hmm.
What he was doing to those guards, if
Yeah.
you were not watching him nonstop, you won't see it
Yeah.
because he wasn't
Agreed.
making a lot of plays. But if you go back and watch the game and just watch defense and watch Chris
Yeah.
Jones, he was
Yeah.
putting hands on people's kids, man.
Yeah.
And he was putting people in the backfield every play, even if he wasn't going to make the play. He was lifting grown men up and just running them backwards as many times as he could. And after a while, when I've done this before, it gets demoralizing. It's like, man, bro, stop with the bull rushing. I've been in practice before where a guard had come to me like, gee, why you keep bull rushing, man? Why you keep That's hard to have to deal with where it does not matter what you do. You
Mhm.
can't stop this person from moving me backwards. Well, you know who else feels that? Josh Allen.
Mhm.
And when he's speeding up his operation, because he knows this pressure is coming from somewhere, and it may not impact the game like to where everybody can see it, but that's taking a toll on offenses, and the coordinators see it, the O-line coaches see it, and they're telling them, "Hey, this is what we need to do because this is happening. Your time, you don't have as much time because this dude over here is," you know what I'm saying? It changes the protections. All of those things matter, man. And my last thing is, uh, Josh Allen really is an alien. That 4th down.
Yeah, that's how I was gonna say to your point and my point earlier of
Yeah.
like it being harder for Buffalo. You got to think the 2 touchdowns they had, you know, were on 4th down. The option
Mhm,
play, tough. Like, yes, you score, but though
mhm,
you can't, you're sitting back and saying, yes, these are what eventually won the game. Or, you go back and are like, man, we had to earn every single
mhm,
touchdown. And that's like, that's tough to do. You then had the 4th down Samuel touchdown, the tying one at when it was 29-29. Those are tough. And if you're going to rely on Josh Allen to be Superman every time, which it eventually at the end of the game, you saw
yeah,
what happened. Like you
yeah,
wanted Josh to be Superman when it came down
mhm.
to it. Another 4th down, blitzed, and then you have people online. Well, why didn't he throw it to Shakur? It's like clearly he had 2 guys running scot free right out in his
And he
face.
still okay, can we please? Okay,
Oh,
he
that gets
still
me
got the
so
ball there.
livid.
He still
Yeah,
got the ball there. And so
bruh.
nobody gonna talk about the ball hitting Kincaid directly in the hands
Yeah.
and him
And
not catching it.
yeah, and it's a tough play, but I also think I felt like Kincaid wasn't even looking at the ball.
No,
He was looking
that's what
at
I'm saying.
if he was gonna get hit or not.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, there's a lot that goes on, but just to the fans
To
who is,
get the
"Well,
ball off was insane. That was insane.
this, man, y'all not understanding what that dude did in that play."
Yeah.
That is so man.
Yeah.
We seen okay, to give you guys an example, if you think it's so easy, look at him doing that and getting the ball off and still having a chance versus what Jaden Daniels did. He couldn't get the ball off.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Uh,
It's not, I mean, when you are seeing what quarterbacks are seeing is before the play, they see, okay, this defense is in this. What we've studied is if he walks down or if he's here, no, he's bluffing because that's not even what they do. So I know that's not what's happening. Spags made it look like we just gonna rush these 4, we gonna cover. We're not blitzing. Spags, he shows when he's blitzing. We can all see it at home. He made it look normal, and then boom, he sends a corner that comes scotch free.
elite pressure, man.
And I mean, he drew it. I mean, it was perfectly drawn
A
up.
corner
So
blitz on 4th
on
down is
4th down,
insane.
on 4th
That's
down is
insane.
insane. No quarterback is expecting that. So he's
No.
looking like, oh shoot,
Yeah.
I just gotta, and he's an alien. The strength of his arm to be able to even get the ball and to put it somewhere where a guy actually had a chance to catch it.
Yeah.
That's different. But I just feel yesterday was the first time I actually like felt bad for Josh Allen because
Mm.
it's like, oh,
Yeah.
my son said he needed to demand a trade to the NFC.
Hey, the other thing we got to shout out before we go to break is just Patrick Mahomes' greatness.
Yeah.
His poise, his resilience, his determination to win.
Mhm.
Definitely, we need to take time to talk about it just because it's so great. He makes a mistake at the beginning and then plays nearly a flawless game after that.
Mhm.
Just his poise of where he knows where the ball is, knows that he doesn't have to hit home runs, even though he wants to,
Yep.
even though the fans and everybody, that's what made him so popular so fast, were the home run touchdowns. But his methodical work of sustaining long drives and taking
Mhm.
what the defense gives you and picking it apart is going,
I
he's
feel like you
he's
know a guy like
master.
that.
I
I
do,
feel
and
like
he's
you know
starting
a
to
guy who
master
won.
it,
I
watching
feel
it.
like you know a guy who won a couple championships doing that.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
him mastering that is
Mhm.
been it's you have to just give him his props for that. It's been impressive. Now that doesn't mean I like that team
Of
or
course.
want them to win, but I give credit when it's due, and he deserves a lot of credit for how he's just sustained the
Yeah.
poise of just doing whatever it takes to win the game.
That's what I'm saying, man, and Kansas City just knows they just know how to win. Man, that last drive, the way Andy Reid drew that up was
Yep.
like, "Bro, come on,
To
man." Like,
throw the ball too. Oh,
this dude is freaking, man,
to throw
like,
the
come
ball is
on,
crazy.
man, that's insane.
Because if you
But
drop
the
it,
way
it's
he
like,
threw it, that's what
oh,
I'm saying. You just
ah.
if he drop it, now that basically gave him another timeout.
Mhm.
And it's just like in the way he everybody go their way like a run, though, but we gonna run this way, quick little pass, and then nope, we gonna send them this way, sprint out, little drop off, boom, we
Oh,
to the Bajas. It's like,
yeah.
man, yeah. So